It's okay if what you thought you wanted is no longer what makes you happy. And it's okay if what you've been working towards for as long as you can remember, what you had envisioned in your mind, what you thought would bring you that freedom and that fulfillment, the purpose. It's okay if that's no longer the case. I think that sometimes when we are used to just things not sticking around or not having lasting anchors in our life, like relationships that constantly shift and change, moving through so many different identities and roles and dynamics, that we can really get accustomed to this fleeting feeling. And while that has some benefits, that we're really good at surrendering and letting go, I think when that desire for stability comes in after a long period of just having the temporary, it can really feel like a need for stability, predictability, order. And I think especially too, if you've recently moved through a Saturn return, or going through that right now. I had mine last year, and that was a major theme of what I was working through. Just really feeling the call to create something lasting and stable for myself. And it can also we can also really get caught up in that too, of just wanting so badly for something to work out for us, and really just like hanging on to a vision just relentlessly, putting our heads down, devoting to the mission, to the vision, and just putting our all into it, and feeling disappointed at the outcome. And although it's brought a lot of beauty and purpose and freedom into your life, it can also still not be what makes you happy. And that's okay. And it's good to be honest with yourself sometimes too, that not everything is built to last. And if you give yourself permission to stay with what's authentic, because what's authentic is always changing, that, you know, even though it's hard to let go, and maybe all you've ever wanted was to make this happen, then you get there and it's not exactly, or not, maybe not at all what you thought it was going to be. It's okay to give yourself permission to start considering something different. And that there's more than just one path, or more than just one way of getting to where you want to go. And that letting go again doesn't mean that you're a failure, or that you're just repeating an old pattern. It could really just be that you really tried and you gave it your all. You are maybe fed up with how things have gone and are ready to move on to something else, if that's what the path shows you. So I think this type of openness and surrender is different than the letting go that I've experienced and was describing just earlier. This feels different because it's almost like embodied. It's the letting go that comes from really having exhausted all of the options, really having honestly tried, really having just let go of the fear that it's not going to work and that it might not be right because you're living it. So yeah, it's I think it's important to contemplate these things no matter where you are in the process of something, that it allows you to return home to yourself, your values, and what you truly want. And each time that you have an honest check-in like this, you free yourself up, because it can be so easy to get wrapped up into and just lose yourself in the mission and in the vision. And as much as we don't want to be realistic when we're still hoping and praying for it to come to fruition, reality starts to set in after a certain amount of time and evidence. So ultimately, I think it's a good thing to be honest and to be as objective as possible when you're evaluating whether to keep going with something. I think about it kind of like the path of conscious relationship, where I used to think that just being in the perfect or right relationship would be the end of all my unhappiness and struggles, and that everything would be perfect and rainbows and sunshine. But that's really not the case. I've learned that it's actually the opposite, that there is no real security and stability to be found in a conscious relationship, even when there is a high level of commitment, because your commitment is first to yourself. Your commitment is first to yourself, your growth, your well-being, so that you can show up in capacity to be with another in their wholeness too. And so it's always an active choice, an act of choice and an active choice to stay the path or to choose something different. And neither is truly like right or wrong. It comes down to what you want and what feels right for you right now. Sending love from a rainy hilltop